These are some frequently asked questions about the May budget revision. So, what is the May revision? The Governor's Department of Finance explains that the May revision reflects changes to the Governor's proposed budget based upon the latest economic forecasts. The Office of Legislative Counsel, in its glossary of terms, explains that the May revise occurs in early May, and it is the updated estimate of revenues and expenditures that replaces the estimates contained in the governor's budget submitted in January. What's the correct term to use? Around the state capitol, we hear May revision, May revise, May budget revision. At least 5 sections of the California Government Code uses the term May revision. One section uses May budget revision. So it's up to you. Who issues the May budget revision? The California governor releases the May revise through his or her Department of Finance. What is the requirement for the governor to issue the May revision that's found in state law? Well, this is actually a trick question. First, the requirement is actually not imposed on the governor. Second, the requirement is not where you would expect it to be. There are no provisions related to the state budget in Article 5 of the state constitution, which deals with the executive branch of state government, and it sets forth the powers and duties of the governor. Moreover, the budget related provisions are actually found in Article 4, the legislative branch of the state constitution. However, the May budget revision isn't found there either. The answer is there is neither a constitutional nor statutory requirement for the governor to issue a May revision to his January budget proposal. However, there is a statutory requirement on the Director of Finance to do so, and that provision of state law is contained in Government Code Section 13308. So, what is the DOF director required to do back in January? Well, subdivision A1 of section 13308 says at the time that the governor submits the January budget proposal, the director of finance shall submit to the legislature the total recommended state general fund expenditures and the estimated, including any proposed increases, of state general fund revenues. What's the DOF director required to do in early February? In subdivision B of 13308, the Director of Finance is required to provide to the legislature on or before February 1 of each year all proposed statutory changes as prepared by the Legislative Council that are necessary to implement the governor's budget. And this, of course, is why the California Department of Finance provides its proposed trailer bill language on the DOF website by the end of January. Now, what is the DOF director required to do by early May? Well, in subdivision D of Government Code Section 13308, the Director of Finance is required to provide the legislature on or before May 1 of each year all proposed adjustments to the governor's budget and appropriations for capital outlays. Now, this requirement is not the May revision. Instead, it relates to capital outlay proposals. So finally, what are the statutory requirements for a May budget revision? Well, down in subdivision E of section 13308, it says that the Director of Finance is required to provide to the legislature on or before May 14th of each year all of the following. One, an estimate of general fund revenues for the current fiscal year as well as the ensuing fiscal year, i.e. budget year plus one. Two, any proposals to reduce expenditures to reflect updated revenue estimates. And three, all proposed adjustments to the governor's budget that are necessary to reflect updated estimates of state funding required by Section 8 of Article 16 of the California Constitution in order to reflect either caseload enrollment or population changes. So those are the statutory requirements regarding the Director of Finance's responsibilities as it relates to the governor's budget.